All right, so I am talking today. The topic is 16 things that past relationships have taught me. I apologize in advance. I've got two platforms going on, so I'll be looking over here at Instagram, focusing mostly on YouTube. Why? Because YouTube takes care of its content creators. So if you would like to support me and my platform without spending a dime, just go ahead and go to YouTube and watch there. That is where I will be engaging with the comments. So go ahead and join and also let me know that you made the leap from Instagram to YouTube. All right, guys. So let's get into it. 16 lessons I have learned from past relationships. And I'm going to be looking at my notes. So that's the third place I'm going to be looking at, full disclosure. That way I don't go on tangents, okay? The very first thing is learn to love yourself before you try to love someone else. If you come from a place of deficit, if you come from a place of not feeling good enough, you are going to see things that are not there. You are going to have insecurities that reek like a body odor. You are going to repel people without realizing it, and you are going to be a burden on your partner. You need to make sure that you are not looking for your partner to provide things that you yourself are responsible for. This person should not be the source of your joy. They should not be there for your entertainment. It should be something in addition to a life that you have created that you love. All right. So, number one, love yourself. And anyone, if you would like to take notes for those who are tuning in later on YouTube, because Instagram, the comments, they can't see it if they join in later, feel free to be the scribe. Everybody will love you for it. Shout out to Bold Lion. She made the transition from Instagram. Hint, hint, you guys should too if you want to support me. Thank you so much, Bold Lion. I appreciate you. All right, we are on number two. Number two, be the person you would like your future partner to be. I hear people say this all the time, and I could not agree more. Really think about the list of things. It's a great exercise if you do a list of all the things you want in a person, and then look and go, do I embody these things? Think about the things that trigger you and think, do I trigger other people? Some of the first things that come to mind are you the type of person who can have a conversation without talking over someone? Are you the type of person who gets defensive and doesn't let them get their thoughts across? Or do you lose your temper and get angry? Are you the type of person who keeps your word? Are you reliable? All of the things that you're looking for from someone else, stop and say, am I asking for this? Because there's nothing worse than a hypocrite. Welcome to everyone who is joining me from Instagram. I ask you if you could go to YouTube and watch me there. It provides support since YouTube takes care of its content creators. And shout me out if you're on YouTube, and I will say hello back. All right, we are on number three, third lesson I've learned from past relationships out of this list of 16. Sometimes the reason they didn't choose you has nothing to do with you or your shortcomings. Now, I am all about accountability, especially with women, because they are the ones that I talk to on my platform. And sometimes you are the person who drove them away. Sometimes you were not prepared for a relationship, but this lesson is not that. This lesson is for those people who just simply didn't feel like you were a match. And if you think that's not the case, think about all the men you've gone on dates with and just felt like, not my person. But it wasn't because they did something egregious. It's not something that they need to change. You just didn't feel that connection. It's okay for someone to not feel the connection without you vilifying them in your mind. So do not feel that, oh my God, if someone doesn't choose me, they're an idiot. They can't recognize sunshine. That's their prerogative, and it's going to happen in dating. So if you go in with the mindset that I probably won't be chosen, and I say this with a little asterisk, it's not from a place of negativity. It's from a place of percentages. Okay. The chances are greater that you are not going to be a match than you are. That way you can be pleasantly surprised if there is a match, as opposed to feeling like my expectations were not met when we were not. Okay. Number four, do not make your decisions off of a person's potential. And this goes both ways from men to women. This is not gender specific. Do not look at a person and say they are gorgeous. Man, if they could just get this together, they could be such a great person. All right. Absolutely look at what they have done in the present and don't get so caught up with what they say they're going to do in the future. Women, especially, fall victim to this because we oftentimes fall in love with what we hear. Men tend to fall in love with what they see. So if a guy is just telling you all these wonderful things, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to change it, da, 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 I'm not saying leave him. I'm simply saying give him enough time to put some action behind those words. Okay. So that is number four. Ashley says, I've been guilty of this in the past. I feel you. And Vanessa, I see you. Hello. Let me know if you guys came from Instagram. I appreciate that. Uh, anyone, if anybody wants to drop a comment, I am responding to those on YouTube. So those of you watching on YouTube, thank you so much for coming here, especially those who came from Instagram. And to the person who hit that like button, thank you. If the others of you could do that, that'd be fabulous. You just have to close out of the chat box, hit the like button if you're on your cell phone, and then come back into the chat. But let's get back. Number 5 out of the 16 lessons I've learned from past relationships. It is a great thing to be a giver. It is a beautiful thing. If you are selfless and you give of yourself, it is amazing. Oh, thank you, Ash. I appreciate that. It's a great thing to be a giver. The problem is that you are going to be resentful if you do not get with another giver. Okay, you don't want to be in a give and take relationship where all the giving happens from you and all the taking happens from them. This typically happens in a narcissistic relationship, and you don't want to become bitter. I have a lot of women who say, I just give, 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 and I'm just tired of giving. You got to give to the right person. And you have to be able to express yourself. And even in a healthy relationship, there are going to be times where maybe you feel like it's not reciprocal, or you feel like you're giving more than they are. You need to be able to express that and have a partner who hears you and says, hey, where is it that I can step up to make you feel like things are more balanced? Okay. But at the end of the day, make sure that the person is a giver back. A lot of women who have low self-esteem, a lot of women who feel, and I'm going to use this word, the D word, desperate, take whatever they can get because they feel like this is all I can get. And they tend to overcompensate. They bend over backwards and they're constantly trying to please. But like I said, after a while, resentment is going to set in and you're going to wonder, why am I getting nothing in return? So keep this in mind. Number 6, this is a classic statement. I think it was Iyanla. It was either Iyanla or who was the other one? The woman who wrote those poems Oprah likes. Anyway, I like to give credit where credit's due. But she said something to the extent of, if someone shows you who they are, believe them, and I add in the first time. Okay? People show who they are, and a lot of times they will say, oh, that's not really me, or I don't know why I did that, et cetera, et cetera. But the reality is that was their natural reaction. So their natural reaction, for example, is to call you out under your name. 13 of y'all on Instagram. If any of you could come to YouTube, I would be super, super grateful. YouTube takes care of their content creators over there. So if it means nothing to you, just click on YouTube. You will see the live stream that pops up if you look at Chasing Yonci. So any of the 13 of you are willing to go, I would love that forever. And drop me a comment in the notes on YouTube letting me know you came from Instagram. Okay. So come on over and you'll get my contact. Okay. Okay, so number 6, like I said, if someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. So if a person's natural reaction is to scream at you and call you out of your name, that is their kind of default setting, and they should not have to keep explaining themselves over and over or saying, hey, I'm going to make adjustments. Pay attention, okay? You should be at the very beginning observing. I call it the discovery phase. For the first at least 90 days, you should try not to make any major decisions, especially life-affecting decisions, within the first 90 days, because there are a lot of chemicals that are soaring throughout your brain when you're first meeting someone and you feel like you're in love and you're feeling all the feelings. You need to give yourself time to really reflect and go, what all have I learned about this person? Shout out to Jess. Hey, she said, hey, Yonci. Akir said she hopped it over from Instagram. Yay! Thank you. Thank you. They love me. They love me. Just kidding. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it a lot. Okay, number 7, trust your intuition. Okay, by the way, guys, the replay is going to be on YouTube, so you may as well come over right now. Number 7, trust your intuition. Okay. If you are constantly uneasy, and this is different than somebody who's just living in fear and, oh my God, it's too good to be true. The other shoe's going to drop, oh, when are things going to go badly? That's different. Okay. That's a bit neurotic and you probably need to get some therapy. But if your gut is just going, I'm uneasy, I'm uncomfortable, but you can't put your finger on it, you don't have a smoking gun, you didn't catch him red-handed, and I'm using him pronouns because my clients are women, okay? I'm not saying this can't happen the other way, but I'm not talking to men, I'm talking to women. I say run, okay? I will never forget one of my girlfriends a few years ago. I said, I just have this feeling about this guy. Something seems off. And I had seen it all. I'd been catfished by people. I had one I call it life fished. He completely lied about his entire life. Because it was long distance, he was able to just tell me whatever, and I couldn't prove it, right away. But this other guy, something just felt off. And she said, look, you might never get that affirmation or that confirmation that you want to find, that evidence, that, like I said, the smoking gun, catching him red-handed. But if you are in turmoil, you are in distress, you are uneasy, you are uncomfortable, it's robbing you of your peace. And it was like a light bulb went off. It's okay to choose my peace, even if I don't have something tangible to show for it. And that's a decision that you have to make. And I do believe that our intuition, if it's, used accordingly or correctly, is God's gift to us, especially women, to know when something isn't right. Okay. For those of you who are women of faith like me, you can pray, Lord, if this is someone that I should not be dealing with, please remove it from my life. If there's something I should know, please bring it to my attention. It is crazy. One time I woke up in the middle of the night having I don't know if I had a nightmare or whatever. I ended up waking up and then just seeing something on the computer, and it gave me confirmation, which was different than the guy I walked away with. But to me, it was growth that I was able to walk away without having to find the smoking gun. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Drop some parts if that makes sense. Okay. Number 7. I'm trying to talk quickly because we're not even halfway through. If you can't talk about your concerns and things that upset you without getting into arguments, okay, run. Um, you, it's easy to get along with someone, right? It's usually easy for somebody to enjoy someone and um, just bask in the fun that a new relationship is, or even a relationship that's a couple months in. The real test for me, and when I meet someone, I almost crave having an argument. Not that I like arguing, but it's because I know that everything is honeymoon until you get to your first disagreement that you're passionate about. Not just, oh, I want to eat tacos and he wants burgers. No, I mean the real, you violated me emotionally in some way. I don't feel, I felt like that was out of line, or I didn't like this, or you disappointed me. Something where you have more of an emotional investment. You have to be able to talk about it. You have to be able to say, I have this issue, and you need to be able to bring it with respect. Okay, there's the accountability for you, but that person needs to be at a place with emotional maturity that they can hear constructive criticism and feedback and not respond emotionally. Those of you who are watching, I see 13 of you right now on Instagram. Do me a favor if you would and come on over to YouTube, because YouTube takes care of us over there. Okay, so a bunch of them have come. Let them know, guys, the water's warm on YouTube, right? It's great over there. And I am engaging with the comments here on YouTube. So if you are willing to just pop on over to another app, it makes a huge difference for your girl. Okay, so thanks in advance. And then when you come over, let me know you came over. So that is number 8. Okay, if you can't talk about your concerns. So do not be that person who is afraid to rock the boat and we have a good thing going and I just don't want to say anything. Let's just sweep things under the rug, because you will resent them and you're only delaying the inevitable. You need to be able to find out early on if this person can have conversations. All right. Hey, Blondie, good to see you. Number 9, this is for you. Listen to understand and not to respond. Okay. One of the things that you can do as an exercise to make sure you're doing this, and for me, because sometimes I can get agitated, especially if my partner is long-winded or what have you. Oh, hey, Leo, thank you for joining in. I will take notes. I will take notes, because what happens is if someone says something I think is inaccurate, or I want to respond to it, or what have you, it's almost like holding open a browser window. This tab is open in my mind, and now I'm not 100% focused on what they're saying. A portion, I don't know what percent, but a portion of it is keeping that tab open. So I have found that if it's, a very serious conversation, and I want to give them the respect, and listen intently, give eye contact, whatever, I will make a quick note, just enough to remember what I need to say, so that I can fully come back and be present and hear. To me, if I cannot regurgitate to you what you just said, I'm not listening actively. So think of it like a game of telephone. If what they are saying, you cannot then turn and say it to somebody else, you're probably not listening to the level that you should. And if you want to go above and beyond and be an incredible A plus 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 extra credit communicator, you can come back after they finish, pause and say, okay, babe, this is what I hear you saying. This does not mean you agree with what you're saying. You're saying it came through the filters that I have created through my life. Everyone has filters. You can't control that. This came through the filters, and I'm going to put it into my words. What I hear you saying is da 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 da. They will either say, yes, you've nailed it. That is exactly what I'm saying. The message has been received. Yay. Or they're going to go, that's not quite it. Or you are completely off. You have heard something totally different. Let me go back and try again. That is excellent communication. Now, once that information ball has been passed to you, okay, they passed it to you, you got it, they said, yep, you caught it, you got the right thing. Now you can take your information ball and toss it back to them. And then hopefully they do the same thing. Okay, honey, I heard you, and what you're saying is da 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 da. And I promise you it works beautifully. Going back to number 8, if you have someone that can't have conversations without getting upset, this to me is one of the most important things I look for in a partner, because if every time there is an issue, it explodes, there's an explosion, there are feelings that are hurt, we are damaging each other, that is draining to me emotionally. And the way that I find peace is through communication, resolution through communication. So if I can't talk something through with my partner, I don't want them to be my partner. By the way, guys, we have 10 more people watching than likes. So if you are enjoying this video, please go ahead and smash that like button. It's not because I need your affirmation or your validation. It's because YouTube doesn't know if you are watching and enjoying it. And so if they know, the platform knows you're enjoying it, it will send it out to more people. And I would love to get my message to as many people as I can. All right, so we are on number 10, get thicker skin. Oh my God, I did not learn this quickly, but I did learn this lesson, thank God. Now I'm 43. You gotta get thicker skin, because your partner will show you things about yourself that are not fun to hear, but they will help you grow exponentially. Imagine if you had to go a whole day without a mirror, like no compact, no bathroom mirror, whatever. You might have hair sticking out. You might have a stain on your shirt. You might have broccoli in your teeth. You don't know what is going on with yourself 100% unless you have a mirror. And that is what a healthy partner will do. A healthy partner will give you an accurate depiction of yourself. This is how you're presenting to the world. It affects me, it affects everyone around you. And you can either take what I'm saying and grow, or you can dismiss it and make excuses as to why what I'm saying is not valid. And I purposely said a healthy partner, because a narcissistic partner, or a person who gaslights you or is just toxic and mean, they will say something that is just not true, just to tear down your spirit. Okay, so please listen with that asterisk there. Thank you so much for those of you who have made the transition to YouTube. If you're still watching on Instagram, please come over to YouTube, because they take care of us there. All right. She says she liked, oh, good. Cooking and listening. I'm totally good with that. What are you cooking, my love? I got some ribs going over here. Let's see. Okay, she said, let's see her comment, my little cord's in the way. She said, oh my God, my boyfriend is bringing out all kinds of issues that I didn't realize I have. Yeah, thanks, boyfriend. I'm working with a therapist, and my boyfriend is patient and supportive. I love that. I thought I was going to go left. I love that you are seeing the positive and that you are appreciating that in him. I have learned so much in this relationship about being able to temper myself and be able to work through feelings of frustration at certain moments. And my goal in 2024, which I'm so excited that it's only January 11th and I'm really making leaps and bounds. My goal is to take 100% accountability for my actions and to not allow anything external, whether it's my relationship, my romantic relationship, or anything else. I don't want anything external to be able to take me out of my happy place. Like, you're going to have fleeting moments, but I don't want anything to be able to take me out of my happy place and keep me there. I want to be able to learn how to regulate my emotions to where I can quickly even myself out, because I'm a very empathetic person and I'm a very feelings oriented person. So, I mean, to the extent, like, I could be watching a movie and if someone does something embarrassing, I will have secondhand embarrassment to the point where my face starts burning. So it makes me very empathetic. It makes me great at being a coach or being in a type of therapist role, but it makes it intense in my real life, just trying to keep like kind of like a neutral um, disposition when something is thrown at me like a curveball or there's a disappointment or what have you. So thank you for commenting that. I think a lot of people can relate to that. All right, so we got to get thicker skin. Number 11 out of the 16 things I have learned from past relationships, flee from people who don't respect your boundaries, no matter how small the boundary. In my course, I talk about different levels of boundaries. And for me, it's not necessarily the thing itself, whether it's a big thing or little thing, like people talk about big sins or little sins. It's the principle behind it. So, for example, thank you so much. For example, if somebody says, I don't like to be tickled, or, there are some people who maybe they're really ticklish on a certain part of their neck or something like that. Or, um, I don't know, maybe there are certain smells that bother them or what have you. These are not boundaries like, don't put your hands on me. But if you have somebody who thinks it's funny to see you squirm because they're going against your boundary, that you should take that into consideration. I'm not saying leave the person, that one thing, but to me, that is symptomatic of, it is a symptom of a greater thing. And you want somebody who says, I might not agree with something, I might even not even fully understand it, why it's an issue, but the way that I show you love is by respecting your boundaries. So if you have made something clear to somebody that it is a problem for you and they continue to do it, pay attention to that. That will definitely build resentment. Okay. I got a lot of new people coming in from Instagram, so sorry, YouTube. I am filming on YouTube. This is going to stay on YouTube. It's going to be posted there. But YouTube is much kinder to its content creators. And so if you could transition to YouTube, it helps me a ton. If you can't, totally understand. Keep watching here. But if you can, come on over and let me know you came from Instagram. Okay? Thanks. All righty. Number 12. Number 12. Oof. If someone can't take responsibility for their actions, they can't take accountability. Okay, a lot of guys say women struggle with this. And if they can't apologize, run. Let's say you guys got into it and then you circle back and you talk about it later once things have calmed down or whatever. And you say, look, this really hurt my feelings. And they try to say things like, let me know in the comments if you heard this. You're just too sensitive. I can't believe that bothered you. You're making a big deal out of nothing. Oh my God, why are we going back to that? If they don't say, look, it wasn't my intention to hurt you, but I'm sorry that you went through that. I'm sorry that, at my expense, you felt this way or what have you. You should look into that. You should be mindful of that. There are times where the person did do something intentionally. And for me, I would respect a partner that much more if they were to say, you know what, I was being petty. You know what, I knew I should have called you, but I was pissed still from this morning. I can accept that because that's a human response. I can accept that. I don't think it's okay. I think it's immature, but at least you're taking accountability and you're not trying to blow smoke. You're not trying to say, girl, you saw something you didn't see something that you actually saw. If the person does anything else, that is a huge red flag for me. Those of you who just tuned in, these are 16 things I have learned from past relationships, okay? And a lot of this stuff can be just with your circle. This could be with family members, it could be with friends, it could be with your kids. These are healthy, in my opinion, healthy tools and things that your close circle, the people that you allow in your daily life, they should be able to do this stuff. All right, number 13, we're almost done. Are you guys enjoying this so far? Are you enjoying this conversation? Is this helpful? Real quick, I want to say this, like the old school, ads that pop up. I am doing a program. I kind of snuck it in there in December, and I said I want to teach all of my course content in a more linear fashion. I want it to go from before you meet a guy, the work you need to do before you even start dating, to while you're in the midst of dating, you're doing first dates, second dates, third dates, and then after you meet the guy and he commits to you, and you guys now are beginning a relationship. I wanted to really just go from start to finish for the people who are like, I need the full shebang. I need the handbook for dating. And so I snuck in my class. I have 20 women sign up, and we have been having a blast. And so I'm at the point now where I'm ready to sign up the next group of women. This is my January wait list that's now opened. And so we've got a couple women who are already enrolled in the class. But if anybody is interested in just getting more information and understand, what investment that would look like, if you want more information, go ahead and after this is done, shoot me a DM on Instagram with the word info, and you can join the call tonight. I've been doing Zoom calls all week and breaking it down on what you can expect. So I just want to say that quickly before I get back to the last four. Stick around to the end and I'll repeat that again so that you know where to go, okay? But this is something that's a lot of fun because a lot of women just are missing a lot of the pieces that they need to be able to attract and maintain the attention of the type of guy that they want and inspire a commitment. So if you are single and you are wanting to be in love, you are wanting to have a partner that you're not just settling for, but is blowing your mind, I'm telling you, I was the guinea pig and it is working. It has worked and it is continuing to work. All right. I am almost 9 months into the best relationship of my life. And I want to show you guys exactly what I did every step of the way. Okay. All right. So number 13 rather, red flags that you ignore at the beginning will be the very same reason you are miserable in the long run. Okay. Um, they are red flags for a reason. These are not just like little irks. These are not just like, oh my God, I hate it when he does that. I hate it when she does that. Red flags are things that your body is going, you shouldn't be here. You, you shouldn't be here. This is going to be a problem. This is a problem. And you override it because either you're desperate and you feel you have a scarcity mindset, like, well, I don't know if I'll meet anyone else. And it's about to be, the holidays or it's about to be summer and I want someone to party with, or whatever the case may be. You make excuses and you stick around, let them stick around. That thing will gnaw at you. And then there's a level of guilt that you will feel if you're the type of person that takes accountability and says, I saw this on date number 2, or this conversation came out, week 1 of talking. If it is a red flag and you ignore it, you are going to regret it later and be miserable down the road. Now, number 14 is tied into 13. 14, if you choose to ignore the red flag, because I don't want to make it seem like nobody has any red flags or everyone's, there's this perfect unicorn person. In my opinion, everyone is jacked up in some way, shape, or form. They are. I'm jacked up in some way, shape, or form based on, past experiences and just certain personality bents. No one is perfect, no matter how much work they put into themselves, no matter how much healing process happens. Healing is a journey, not a destination. So I think that there are some allowances that you have to make for the other person to be human. But if you choose to take on their particular brand of crazy, wink, wink, I say that lovingly, you got to take accountability for your choice to stay. You have to take accountability for your choice to stay. and either accept them for who they are or leave. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say, for example, you date somebody who has baggage. I use that term very lightly because I have what's considered baggage. I'm a divorced mother too, okay? Or maybe the person has debt, student loans, or maybe they, work good with their money and they're younger, whatever, right? They have something. You cannot then be mad if you chose to stay because you're tired of having to hear about the baby mom or the baby dad, or coordinating with the child, or the debt is keeping you guys from being able to afford things down the road, or maybe their credit score is holding you back or whatever. If you are diligent and you are paying attention and you are not just in la la land when you're dating, you're going to see these red flags. The ones that you choose to take on, be a big girl, wear your big girl panties. You signed up for this. He's got a criminal past. Okay, well, guess what? Certain things are going to be a problem. I remember dating this guy, and of course, I didn't find out until later, but he had a past, and I was like, well, that was in his 20s. Or actually, no, earlier. He was in college. We're in our 40s now. Da 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 da. But we went to go shoot guns one time at the range, and this man was not allowed to shoot guns. Like, certain things are going to come up that you're going to have to deal with, but you have to take accountability and say, I signed up for this. This is part of the program. Okay, we are now, oh gosh, I can't do the math, we are now 12 people 12 more people watching than are who have liked it. So before we do the last three, can you guys hit that? Oh, one person just hit the like button. Can y'all hit that like button? Hit that like button and get those numbers up. I mean, at least do half. If you're watching it and you're enjoying it, you can also drop a heart so I can see that you are enjoying this. Yay, the numbers are going up, 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 up. And remember, stick around so you guys can find out about the program. I would love for you to be one of the 20 in my second group. There we go. Can we get some more? Can we get some more? We're exactly halfway, y'all. We're halfway. I know sometimes I just have to remind you and ask, because I'd be forgetting to when I watch stuff to click that like. But go ahead and hit that so YouTube knows that you guys are enjoying this. Can we get like 3 more? Can we just get to 15? I don't think 3 is a lot. All right. Sip my water. And those of you watching on Instagram, can you go to YouTube? Because YouTube takes care of me over there. Instagram doesn't. Instagram be like, look, girl, work for free. Mama got bills to pay. This bottled water don't pay for itself. All right, let's see. Oh, we got one more. Can we get 2 more? Can we get 2 more likes? And I'm going to give you the last 3. Y'all, I've been working hard. A whole Microsoft Word document with my notes, okay? I try to give y'all a lot. All right, we got 1 more. So we get 2 more. Can we get 2 more? Y'all, I'm out here for like a panhandler asking for likes. Can I get 2 more likes? Let the YouTube algorithm know y'all are feeling this. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. Y'all, they're really not giving me my last 2 likes. Can you believe that? Just terrible. Just terrible. All right, I'm going to stop bullying y'all. Y'all don't want to give me your last 2 likes. I'm going to get over it. Okay, so number 14, if you choose to ignore red flags. Oh, excuse me. That's the one that I just went over. So we have 2 more. It takes 2 people. Number 15, it takes 2 people to want a relationship to flourish. What this means is if there is an effort to fill the person's love tank, there is an effort to keep things spicy, there is an effort to reconnect after there's conflict, it should not always be that one person. It should not always be the guy like, okay, we fought, I gotta make up, I gotta bring her flowers, I gotta rub her back, I gotta say things. It should not always be one person. She should do it sometimes, he should do it sometimes. It should not even be noticeable who's doing it more, because both of you guys should be doing that. So if you find yourself in a relationship where you are constantly going out of your way to speak to them in their love language, you are constantly trying to go out of your way to make sure that they know that you care, that you're supporting them, and you feel like it's a one-sided thing, be mindful of that, okay? That gets old very, very quickly, and then resentment sets in, and it's just a bad, bad thing. Last but not least, and I say this to all of the women who are tempted to stick around, even though everything in them is screaming, this is not right. He is not right for you. This is a bad situation. You are crying more than you're smiling. He robs you of your peace. Your entire tribe is looking at you sideways like, girl, I guess if you like it, I love it. Okay? Never stay. Number 16, never keep someone around because it feels better to have someone than to be alone. This is a real thing though, and I don't judge. Why? Because I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I had a point where I was like a crackhead. I was like an addict who needed a hit. I needed external validation. I needed someone outside of me to let me know I was good. And my mind said, a man can do that for you. And when I was on that path, I was at the mercy of whoever was around. If they gave me what I needed, I felt good. If they didn't give me what I needed, I felt bad. You need to address that. And this goes beyond dating and relationships. This goes beyond a dating coach. You need to get therapy. You need to, whether therapy comes from sitting in a session with someone, searching out on YouTube videos, getting self help books, talking to somebody in your church, talking to somebody who has been through it and done it. You need to figure this out. And this ties in perfectly with the first one. Number one, if you go back and listen to the first one, you got to learn to love yourself before you try to love somebody else. You have to address this. And if no one else has told you, I'm going to tell you it is not healthy. Ooh, I got my other like that I wanted. I'll be so happy if I could just get that last one before I leave. Okay. But don't stick around. Love yourself enough. Love yourself enough to have boundaries. Love yourself enough to speak up. Love yourself enough to do what it takes to feel like you are respected. I think that there is this pendulum swing. My people tend to be on this side, and I'm about to explain the two sides. But there's this pendulum swing where there are people who want the moon. I mean, they are out of shape. They are, a little bit gnarled and got all the stuff going on, but they want this, rare specimen of a man that's just super rich, super ripped, super in shape, gorgeous, handsome. Every woman wants him. They want this guy, these unrealistic expectations. That's this group of women. And then the pendulum goes all the way to the other side to the women where I was more cut from this cloth, where they are taking on too much. They are dealing with too much. They're not asking enough. You are worthy. I had someone DM me today. It was heartbreaking. And she's like, if I met a guy today, I don't know that, if I would let him down or disappoint him or if I'd be good enough. I don't ever want someone to feel like they are not good enough. And that's not because I just want everyone to go, I'm great. I'm great. The reality is a lot of people, including myself, have stuff to work on. Oh, I not only got my last like, I got an extra one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Whoever just did that, you can brag and say, that was me. Thank you. I got my extra. I got the one I wanted plus the extra. So thank you. Everyone has to do work. However, you should, once you get into that dating space, once you step out into the dating streets, you should have done the work to where you feel like you're at your personal level 10. Your personal level 10. And the things that you should work on that you're consciously choosing to not work on, you're like, you know what, we're just going to accept that. Then take that accountability and understand that your pickings are going to be slimmer. Okay. But you should never feel like someone's better than you. This was a journey that I had to go on. And I'm telling you, I try not to talk too much about my personal relationship because I want to be sensitive to people who are not in a relationship. And I never want to seem like I'm bragging. But at the same time, it's like, it's a great teaching point. And it's also a, what they would call it marketing social proof, right? That I'm not just sitting around making this stuff up. But in a past relationship, I'll keep it vague. In a past relationship, I was so intimidated by the person because they had so much more life experience than me. And they moved with such confidence that it triggered an insecurity in me. Okay. I'm going to go on is it okay if I go on a little bit of a digression here? I promise I'll bring it back full circle. Their confidence and their security in who they were and how they moved and the decisions that they made, and they spoke with such intent. It made me And thank you, Sean. It made me feel insecure. Looking back, I can say that triggered an insecurity because they were not saying you're wrong. I mean, sometimes they did, but it was more so the confidence which they said it, like, this is law, this is truth. And it's interesting because now I speak that way. I speak very confidently because I'm speaking from life experience. I'm speaking calmly and rationally, and I welcome you to debate me. I welcome you to say, hey, I see it from a different vantage point, but honey, you better bring some receipts. You better show me. I think it's raining based on the fact there's moisture coming from the sky and my clothes are getting wet. And if you're trying to tell me that it's 90 degrees and not raining, you got to show me. Okay. So now I speak with confidence. And so it is so cool to see the difference between entering into a relationship from a space of, and I don't want to say healed, past tense, healing, having done so much work, and feeling like the relationship is equitable, feeling like my partner respects me, I respect my partner, I am putting in effort, he is putting in effort. I have to show humility when wrong, he has to show humility when wrong. It is a beautiful thing when there is a balanced, healthy, reciprocal relationship. And that is what I pray for each and every one of you, to find somebody who is on that same level with you, who is doing the work, who is self aware, who has enough humility, um, to be able to do what they need to do to show up and be authentic and be loving. And so, if you feel, I will close by saying this, if you feel like you do not have the tools, if you are listening to the things that I'm saying, and it sounds like I'm describing someone different than you, and you don't feel like you have the confidence, the self esteem, if you don't think that you know how to create healthy boundaries or enforce healthy boundaries, especially when he's fine, his beard connects, and he's got the side teeth, and subject verb agreement, because you know I love a well spoken man. Okay, so maybe you struggle with enforcing boundaries, or maybe you don't know if your criteria is delulu, if you are asking for, like the sky, the world, and it's not rational. If you get nervous around men, if you want to go on the date, but now you're going to just go into overdrive, overthinking everything you say, everything you do. I'm just, oh my God, I'm flustered, and I got to call my girlfriends after the fact and tell her every little thing that you did and go, did I mess up? If you're nervous, if anything I've described is you, I invite you to join me tonight at 6:30 Central Standard Time. That is 7:30 Eastern, and that is 4:30 Pacific. Sorry, people, I got to do an early one today. I'm going to explain to you the program that I'm doing, and it's called the Dating Manual. It's not even available on my website because I'm still in kind of beta, if this was a technical thing. I'm still in beta. I have one group that is going through it currently, and I have another group that's about to start. But I walk women through the entire process of dating. And it's funny because I get guys who say it kind of jokingly, but I know they're serious. Can I get a list of women who have gone through your courses? Because there are men, you're welcome, Cece. There are men who um, desperately want a wife. They want a wife, but they're not so desperate to where they're going to, lower their standards. But they want a woman who is healthy mentally, emotionally intelligent, feminine, fun to be around. I can't emphasize that enough. If you could see captions in bold, FUN, fun to be around, pleasant demeanor, giving, not self-centered, not materialistic, a team player, somebody who will, nourish their children and enrich their lives and just create healthy, well-balanced beings into this world. There are men who want that, but they are also doing the work in this age of YouTube and self-help books and all this stuff and therapy and all that. They are also doing the work, and they could spot a woman who is desperate and clingy and insecure and neurotic and not over her ex and all of the things. Okay. So if you are single and you don't want to be, and you are bold enough to say, I might need to self improve, I strongly recommend, and you're willing to invest in yourself, because honey, I don't do this for free. Okay, I don't do this for free. But if you're willing to invest in yourself, come join, see what I'm offering, see if it's a good fit, and then we're going to move from there. Okay. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, Instagram, you're already on Instagram. But those of you watching on YouTube, just come on over to Instagram and DM me there. Just the word info, just info, and drop me your email address so that I can send you the Zoom link. We have fun. We always have fun. Anyone who's been in my classes or done lives with me, we have fun. It's just girl time. Okay. But we're going to talk shop, let you know what the program is all about. It's called the Dating Manual. And again, it's not even on my website yet. So this is the only way you can get on. He said, Sean, invest in yourselves and meet her there. I love that. All right, guys. So thank you for watching. If you are watching the replay, comment replay. So that's not you guys, you're live. But if you're watching the replay, comment replay. Let me know where you're watching from. And thank you for getting those likes up. I appreciate that. All right, guys. God bless you. And I will see you soon. That's all I have.